I love E3.
I also love E3. It's very soon.
It is very soon. Depending on when you're seeing it, it might be sooner than it is for us right now.
It might be now.
It might be right now.
Depending on when you're watching this video.
In which case, some of these things might have already come true, which would be awesome because they're all brilliant.
So yeah, there's lots of rumours flying around.
Yeah, like just like new hardware stuff, like Xbox 1.1, Xbox 2, whatever it is, the NX.
Sequels.
Sequels.
New IPs. So we've got them all together for you in a nice, juicy little bundle.
It's well tasty.
So here are 14 E3 2016 rumours.
That you're not supposed to know.
But we know.
We do know.
Yeah.
So number 14, the PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game. Initially this was revealed back in April as NerdLeaks tweeted about an untitled Spider-Man PS4 project, which was then taken advantage of by someone who made a Photoshop listing on Amazon. That was then proven fake, but stuntman Stephen Oyong, who works for Blur Studios, also had the same untitled Spider-Man project listed on his CV. The world promptly reacted by saying, dude, does this confirm what we think it confirms, only for him to then take it down. Now the last time this happened was actually just last year, when the exact same scenario happened before the release of Fallout 4. A posting on someone's CV, only to see it be taken down, pretty much confirms that something is in the works.
Number 13, a new Xbox One model. The Xbox One and PS4 have been lagging behind the current generation of PCs from day one, so hardware upgrade to E3 would come as a little surprise. Indeed, speaking to Polygon, Xbox boss Phil Spencer said, "You'll actually see us come out with new hardware capability during a generation. Allowing the same games to run backward and forward compatible allows us to focus more and more on hardware innovation without invalidating the games that run on that platform." So will we see something at E3 this year? Will it be an extra little bit of hardware to bolt onto your existing console, or a brand new Xbox 1.1? Only time will tell.
At number 12, it's Hideo Kojima's next game. Now, this has already been confirmed to be a PS4 exclusive, but in a QA session at Nordic Game in Sweden, Kojima said he wants to release it as soon as possible. So far, all we've seen is the official logo and then the character render of that logo, but speaking with GameSpot, he noted that the game would have a lot of freedom and a lot of exploration, but stressed across the board that there'll be a huge emphasis on immersion. Kojima's no stranger to surprises and announcements, and E3 would mark the perfect time to unveil his biggest project yet.
Number 11, Beyond Good and Evil 2 as an NX exclusive. Oh my god, Ubisoft, please just give me something. Beyond Good and Evil 1 was an absolutely stellar game that for whatever reason didn't get its dues, but a Steam re-release did it a few favours and may well have been behind the 2011 announcement of a sequel. However, 5 years on, all we've really got is a teaser cutscene, some so-called leaked gameplay, and dozens of "yes, it is still happening" quotes from lead developer Michel Ansel. But now Destructoid is circulating a rumour that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is being funded by Nintendo as an exclusive for their new console, codenamed the NX. If we're right in thinking that we might start seeing some concrete NX news soon, even just a confirmed name, there's a definite possibility that the next Beyond game could finally be revealed at E3 as a Nintendo exclusive.
At number 10, it's Cyberpunk 2077. This one's a little bit of a weird one, considering CD Projekt Red are pretty much up to their eyes in Witcher content, but Cyberpunk 2077 was initially tapped to release within the next 4 years, following the studio's 2015 financial results conference. Game Reactor Germany then reported that a source close to Projekt Red had stated late 2016 was actually the release date. Most recently, Eurogamer spoke to Marcin Nowinski, who said they might show something at E3, before saying they almost definitely wouldn't be Cyberpunk, and then saying "we will see" when probed a little bit further.
Number 9, Elder Scrolls 6. Now wouldn't that be a treat? Now I know Fallout 4 is still fresh from the presses, so a new Scrolls game isn't exactly going to be hitting the shelves by November, but let's not forget that Skyrim was teased a year in advance. What we know for sure is that Bethesda have booked another conference this year, following last year's huge Fallout 4 announcement, but what they'll be showing us remains to be said. They're saying not to expect Elder Scrolls 6 in full for a very long time, but there's no reason they can't give us a tiny little tidbit.
At number 8, it's whatever Rocksteady are working on. Either it's a Superman game, a Suicide Squad game, or a Justice League game. Essentially this is more speculation than anything concrete, but they're definitely Warner Brothers Golden Boys, and they're going to be looking to innovate on another superhero title. In Batman Arkham Knight, you can actually overhear a thug referring to that freak from Metropolis.
You know, the only thing that's missing is that freak from Metropolis flew in here.
Confirming a shared universe, alongside the fact that Green Arrow's Oliver Queen has a building in the city too. A Suicide Squad game is probably too soon considering the turnaround from Arkham Knight, and a TMNT rumour has obviously been debunked now that Mutants in Manhattan exists, pointing to Justice League making the most sense considering the movie isn't out for another year or so.
Number 7, God of War 4 in a Norse setting. NerdLeaks came out with something juicy earlier this year, a series of concept art that seemed to show Kratos with a slightly fuller beard exploring a number of environments based on Norse mythology. Interestingly, David Jaffe, who used to direct the franchise, revealed on Twitter that the notion of moving into Norse mythology has been on the back burner for a while now. The concept art certainly seems kosher. What remains to be revealed is whether we'll see anything at this year's E3.
And number 6 is Red Dead 3. Now, back in November, we spoke to a source close to Rockstar that confirmed this was actually in production, but it wasn't until April of this year that a leaked map proved the game was in development. Rockstar have since said nothing, but another source confirmed the map itself is still real. Looking at the map, we can tell it's a prequel. There's a lack of railroad on certain sections of the new map, but the appearance of oil drilling sites narrow that even more to between 1859 and 1910. Red Dead Revolver's setting was in 1880, pointing to the return of Red Harlow, the main character of the first game, and lastly, you'll probably be able to swim this time, thanks to outposts existing across bodies of water.
Number 5, an update on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is already confirmed, which is great news for fans. What might not be so great, according to taste, is that the game is probably going to be episodic, with sparse releases. As a result, you might not have the complete game in your hands until as late as 2019, when the last episode is thought to be coming out. However, the entire online presence of the remake is a whole mess of rumours and speculation, so everything needs to be taken with a barrel full of salt. Some solid updates from Square Enix at E3 would help straighten things out, especially a look at Episode 1.
And number 4, Mass Effect Andromeda. EA have actually switched gears this year as they're not going to be attending E3, but this still kind of counts as an E3 rumour because their EA Play event still happens on the same weekend. Mass Effect Andromeda has been in development for at least 2 years now, and some leaked footage has already shown some jetpacks being used as an integral part of gameplay. Holiday 2016 was their original release window, and you just don't have your own conference for the first time ever not to show your big marquee title.
At number 3, it's Resident Evil 7. Rumours of an imminent Resi 7 announcement have been a hot topic for years now. However, we might finally have more to go on than simply they've got to do it soon. CEO of Catan Games, Sir Kantoto, recently revealed on Twitter that a main series sequel is definitely on the way and will be presented at E3 this year. It might be wishful thinking, but from a man who's an industry insider and so would probably know, that's as good as confirmed for me.
Number 2, now don't forget about Konami because they've got another Metal Gear Solid game coming. At the tail end of 2015, Konami noted they were hiring for a new game in the series, which would require, quote, a large-scale investment. Now this is without Hideo Kojima, as he's gone his own way and was doing his own thing, but Konami still own the Fox engine and the whole entire Metal Gear Solid mythos. Going forward, they could take the easy route and just release a whole bunch of mission packs using the Fox engine from Phantom Pain, which personally would be fantastic. But considering the amount of money the Phantom Pain made, they're probably going to end up doing a full numbered installment at some point.
And number 1, a new Star Wars game with Amy Hennig. Everyone here at What Culture loves Uncharted, so the notion that the series' ex-scriptwriter Amy Hennig is on board with the new Han Solo Star Wars game is an exciting one. The rumour comes in part from Nathan Drake's voice actor Nolan North, who said at MetroCon 2015 that if you're a big fan of Amy Hennig and her styles of story, the big thing about her is that she's gone to EA and is going to reboot a brand new Star Wars franchise in the style of Uncharted. There's no other evidence to say that 1313 is now back on the cards for our sins, but a series of Han Solo related tweets that Visceral put out and eventually deleted seems to tie in nicely with an Uncharted style Star Wars game.
So that's our list. Personally, I'm massively stoked for Spidey. I mean, if they're announcing a new PS4 model and they've got Spidey alongside, that's a massive blow to Microsoft.
Yeah,
So I'd like to see how that plays out.
But Beyond Good and Evil 2,
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
you've not played it, so
I've not. I've played the start. I've done like half an hour.
no opinion here. So, of course, let us know what you're waiting for as well in the comments below.
Yeah, and if anything's changed between us recording this and you seeing it, shout that out too, because chances are me saying this, something's probably changed in that time.
Definitely will have happened. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook.
I'm Peter,
I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com.
and we'll see you soon.
Cheers.